This is WXOJLP Northampton, 103.3 FM, your Valley Free radio station. Welcome. I'm Warren Odess-Gillette, and this is A Baha'i Perspective. A Baha'i Perspective is a radio program that examines contemporary issues based on the principles of the Baha'i faith. If you want information on the Baha'i faith specifically, you're welcome to visit the website www.baha'i.org. That's BAHAI.org. Or you can call the toll-free number 1-800-22-UNITE. Today I'm playing an interview with Mr. Alfred Kikoti, a Baha'i from Tanzania who has been drawn to the protection of the wildlife of his country. He started his career as a game warden in a nature conservancy park, but realized more had to be done to protect Tanzania's wildlife. He developed a unique way to have villagers see the wild animals as a resource rather than a liability to their farms and family. He has just completed his first phase of academic work for his doctorate in Elephant Ecology and Conservation, and is returning to Tanzania for a 2-year stint to perform fieldwork in support of his doctorate studies. I started the interview by asking Alfred to describe where he grew up and what was it like growing up there.
I grew up in Dar es Salaam. This is the capital city of Tanzania, and my parents used to live there, and I born there and I grew up there. I did all my schools from secondary school to high school in the capital city.
And what was the name of the city again?
Dar es Salaam.
Dar es Salaam?
Yes. So life was good, living with the parents, everything you want, the parents give it to you. It was good, but I was very comfortable to be in Dar es Salaam when I was under the hands of my parents, but I was trying to find my own life somewhere else. Mm-hmm. All the time they say, what are you going to do? Are you going to be an engineer of a computer or something? I said, no. What do you want to? Who you want to be in this city? I said, no, I'm not. I don't belong here. I belong somewhere else. But I cannot know now where I'm gonna be. But because of as a student, we travel, and so I happen to travel on the north, and I also happen to travel to the national parks, and I also happen to travel with my dad hunting. So I was trying to find where I can press my button, where I can fit in. Mm-hmm. But two things came out about when I was like 16, 17. When we go for hunting with my dad, when I was 10, we used to spend maybe 1 hour. We see the animals, we shoot, we go back with the meat. But now, when I was 17, we spend weeks, nothing. And I kept asking my dad, where are the animals? He said, maybe they're going back to the park. I said, why now, going back to the park? And he said, we don't know, maybe they don't like to be here. But I realized there's something going on which is pushing the animals away.
Do you think your dad knew what was going on but wasn't telling you?
Yeah, he knew what was going on, but I think he knew I was too young to be told all this complicated that population increase, what forest deforestation is taking away the habitat. He didn't want to tell me, but I knew what was going on because I could see some houses which I never saw when we came like 2 years ago. I could see new houses along the road. I knew these are the people who are keeping the animals away. So it's becoming hard for us to get to these animals. So that was going around in my mind. So even when I went to high school, my selection of the classes to take was geared to the wildlife conservation. So I spent a lot of time doing anything to do with the biology. I went for it. Anything to do with the plants, botany. I was so good on those things because I was preparing my foundation to take something a little bit bigger in the future. And when I finished, I passed very well in mathematics and physics. Many people knew I'm going to do the engineering, but I said, okay, I'm not going to do engineering, but not on the things engineering on the wildlife. So when I finished my high school, I had a lot of trouble deciding because I was to go to the military training at the same time, and I also wanted to start my own stuff, but it's compulsory to go for military training. I went to the military training for a year. Then that's the time I because I was on the north where I like to be, that's the time I was able to visit universities in that side. Okay, that if they can accept me and if they can offer what I want, they say, okay, we can. Even they gave me a scholarship. They say, if you are interested that much, we can give you some scholarship, and then you join the university. And I joined the university. I finished. When I finished, that's the time I kind of decided to not to go to the capital again. I said, okay, now I'm undergrad. I finished. Again, I had a very good impression. And when I went to Arusha, which is the north, there were a lot of Baha'is because I became a Baha'i when I was 15. So what Baha'is welcomed me that, okay, you better join this community. It's really good, and also the animals you're looking for are here. So I decided to establish myself in the north. I finished when I finished my first degree, I worked a little bit for 2 years to see what I know, how much can I apply to the real world. I managed to do very well in the government, and that was awarded what they call a best game officer or warden in Tanzania in 1997. So after getting that award, opened other doors for me. Then I started to build a little house in the northern part, and then work in the parks. And also I was able to travel many countries, including U.S., with that award that they gave me tickets to travel many places to go and see what other people are doing, like Yellowstone. I came to Yellowstone. I went to Brazil. I went to Spain, see what kind of management people are sort of learn. Actually, it was a learning process. But when I went back, I realized what I was missing. Most of the people I met, they were people who had done their masters very well and were successful. Some of them have done a PhD, and I was the only person who was speaking, giving good presentation, but with no advanced degree. That's my lesson I picked. All this traveling. I was very keen trying to see which kind of people I meet and what do they do, what kind of things which they do which I don't do. So I realized these people, most of them were trained in the good universities, and they knew a lot of stuff. And I said, okay, the best thing when I go back, I needed to also plan for myself to go to school.
Now, that was a 2-year stint. While you were game warden, you were also traveling about. And this was all a 2-year period?
Yeah, 2-year period. It was a 4-year period, actually.
A 4-year period?
Yeah, all this working
for 2 years.
2 years, and get an award, travel, then get back to work for 4 years.
Okay. Now, while you were game warden, did you have to deal with poachers?
Well, game warden is you can be dealing with the poachers because my training was for everything, dealing with the poachers, educating the community, doing research, all the things. So I go game warden, or we call it game warden is everything. It's a manager of the natural resource management. It's a natural resource manager. So you can do anything. If you are assigned to do anti-poaching or pursuing the poachers, you have to do it because you have the skills to do that. Mm-hmm. And you can be assigned to be a link person between the community and the park. That's what I did a lot on that. Mm-hmm. I was like an intermediate. Anything happen, anything good from the park, go to the community. I'm the person in charge, and if something bad from the community, I'm the one to talk to with the community. Mm-hmm. I organize the conference, workshops, training local people, telling them the message from the park and what we can do with them, how they can help to do better conservation, or how we can share benefit from the park with the people around the park, those kind of things. If there's any problematic animal, go to the village. I'm the person to deal with it. Mm-hmm. So you are trained for everything. Mm. Yeah, not like specializing on something. No, you are a manager for natural resource. Mm-hmm. So
yeah. Would you say that the park was a success in preserving the natural habitat?
Yes, it is. Park is only way. Only feature in the natural resource conservation where many people respect it, and having those parks the rest of the area we can say, okay, we have a guarantee. At some point, some percentage you say we have a guarantee that these animals will be here for maybe 100 years to come, but there are other animals which are in the communities outside the parks, that they are fine, but there's a lot of trouble with them. And I think being in a park myself, it was good to be able to contribute to contribute my skills to my country to protect those animals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's backtrack a little bit. You said you became a Baha'i when you were 15. Were you raised in a Baha'i family?
No.
So how is it that you ran into the Baha'i faith?
It's very interesting. The Baha'i Center, in the first place, was between where I live and where my school is. So every time when I go to school, I have to pass to the Baha'i Center. So just one day it happened, I went to the book fair where people do like exhibition of books. Many, not only religious, everybody who has books, they bring it over there. The publishers bring their books there. Just show people that we have this is what we have. So Baha'is also had a table where they had their books there. But I was going around and I found a small book. It was written, New Garden. I said, okay, what's the hell? This New Garden? Sorry?
Again, what's the name of title?
It's a New Garden. Is it a
New
book?
Garden?
Yeah, it's a New Garden. So I thought my mom liked the flowers so much. I said, okay, this is going to be a present for my mom because the birthday is approaching. So I bought that book and wrapped it very nice. I put it in my backpack. So I went home and I said, Mom, when is your birthday? It's tomorrow. She said, yes. I said, okay, I have a present for you this time. He said, you don't spend your allowance which you're supposed to use. I said, no, you don't have to worry about me. So that day, I just surprised. I said, okay, there you go. She opened it. She said, oh, this is fantastic. You gave me this book. There must be a lot of flowers in here. It has to do with flowers. So she opened. The first thing she said, I don't need your book. It's not about flowers. This thing is talking about religion. I can see Jesus, Muhammad, all the series of. He said, take your book. I say, is it not about flowers? So open it. It's nothing. There's nothing to do with the flowers. But only title say New Garden. So I said, okay, I need to read this book. When I read, I realized there was something to do with the religion, and there was a lot of good stuff in there. But I was 14 years. So technically, I was not supposed to be a Baha'i. So, but I did not become a Baha'i right away. I wanted to go back to these people and kind of see which kind of people are they, how do they live, what kind of religion. Are they Muslims or are they Christian or somewhere in between? So I sneaked in the Baha'i center. I was observing there were other kids my age walking around there playing the local football there. I was watching this thing, and then I went inside. They said, where's your priest? They said, oh, unfortunately, we don't have one. Why no priest? They said, oh, you know, in that book you have, because I was holding that book. They said, okay, this is like we have instead of a priest we have 9 people and all this. Okay, this is kind of what I mentioned, but I didn't know so much about the religion. So I said, this is very interesting. Then you don't have to have somebody specifically for this kind of thing. So everybody's kind of responsible. Then it's good. And then the questions which I used to ask my teacher, religion teacher in my school, the question she never answered, they were answered in that small book.
What was those questions?
The question was, I asked her why we have 7 doors of religion class, and all these are Christians. With different teachers are coming to teach Christians, but different groups. I said, why everybody has a Bible and going all this different? Why we have 7 classes? Why don't we use one big hall and then do everything there? Why these people you don't even greet them? Are you guys coming from the same place? Or each one, I say, listen to me. This is class where you are a Roman Catholic. This is your religion. Don't think about anything else. And if you continue asking questions like this, I'll tell your parents and tell the headmaster too. I said, okay, so this is a problem. I said, okay. And then I got this answer very clearly from the book without asking anybody. After saying that, okay, what happened, the people have branches of religion. Why religion broke to pieces? It's because of the misinterpretation of the Word of God. And I said, okay, this is the thing I was looking for. So any matter, if you see many groups, some point there's a confusion of some kind. So I think this could be if these people can answer all these questions for me, I'll be comfortable to be here. But I have to ask if they have to baptize me or something. When I asked, they say, that's nothing like that, but your age is a limiting factor. You have to wait until you're 15. And also you need to tell your parents that you wanted to be a Baha'i. I said, okay, this is another challenge. So I went back home. I didn't tell right away because I knew they'll kill me. They'll say,
were they very religious, your parents?
Even them, they picked this religion from their parents. So no one had a time to investigate what's going on. So they were Roman Catholics, they call themselves, because their parents were Roman Catholics. There was no reason why they're Roman Catholics. So so do I. I was a Roman Catholic, grew up in the Christian background. Also, all the classes when I was young, I went to the Christian church and everything. But eventually, when I became 15, I decided to be a Baha'i, and my mom never stopped me. She said, You know what you're doing. I know you know what you're doing, and if you find things are difficult, you better come back. But we don't want to stop you on this. And I think my mom did a decent thing to allow me, because now they're not alive. And both parents are passed away, and it was a bit strange for my country. Most of the people, they don't want to think about religion because they think it's very simple. But it's very difficult. It's easier to study physics than religion. You need to really spend time to really study and pray and ask for guidance to understand the thing. Otherwise, you read and then it's like a novel. It's okay. It's not okay. Religion is very difficult. Even now, I'm still learning to be a better Baha'i. There's so many other things that I have not been able to read, and I think I needed to work hard on that. Religion is...
Yeah. So even at 14, you were sort of searching spiritually.
Yeah, because of I didn't like the way I was treated in the class. Everything I ask, I'm considered like I want to go against what the religion is. But it's about learning. If you come to teach us, you have to clarify things. If you don't clarify, then I'm wasting my time there. So I was very curious to know the logic of her not greeting the other ones, and she greeted very nice to us. She greeted us in the name of Jesus and everything, but she just walk out, and other teachers also are walking. Each one go use different vehicle, and I said, no, there's something wrong here. And if I observe clearly, see that one has a Bible and this one has a Bible. So all of them have Bible. What's going on? I knew there's something they don't want to tell us. So
what do you think it was?
They didn't want us to start exploring what other groups are learning, so we don't go against. We don't learn much to start comparing, because it will be more trouble. It will be more trouble for a teacher if we are starting analyzing who is right. Then we will not stay in where we are. We'll all the time keep on learning, and I think the assumption, if we learn from another group, we may end up being spoiled. So they wanted us to know only that little thing. They want us to know. They didn't want to go beyond what they are teaching us, so we can stay. Because it's a matter of the statistics. People want to make sure they have many followers. So if you're a student, you're still a kid, they train you to be part of the team. So if you learn other things, you may be interested to a next door. And then next time when she comes, she won't find you. You'll be on another class. So that's why they are keeping us in the boxes. We stay and think about what we learn and just memorize that. That's it. Which it was very dangerous for me, I think. And it has costed a lot of people. They grow up, they marry, and then they have no idea. And somebody say, "Why are you Christian?" They have no explanation. They say, "Oh, my daddy was a Christian, so I am a Christian too." Is that it? Is that it? Yeah. And the kids will ask you. I say, "Okay, Dad, why you become a Christian? Or why you a Baha'i?" You have no idea. Say, "Okay, I'm a Baha'i. Many people are Baha'is, and I'm a Baha'i." So it's interesting, religion. You cannot say, "I'm a Baha'i. Baha'u'llah is a manifestation of God for this day, and the Hebrew is A, B, C, D." You can't say that because you just joined. So in the future, I think many people will be sued by our kids, because kids are learning, and some are seeing these things in the internet. Some are they watching it from the TV, and then the parents never told their kids that the other religions, and what's the difference of their religion and the other religions. People are not taught this because people are scared. Kids will learn faster than them, or kids will end up changing. So there's no room for hiding information this time. Information are plenty all over the place, and people will learn and they say, okay, why these people kept us? Why this was kept as a secret? So I think the best thing to do, allow the kids to learn, let open-minded, investigate. Baha'u'llah tells us we need to independently investigate after the truth. So I think that I was trying to follow this principle before even becoming Baha'i. I was very curious to know, even those people, the Muslims, there's a group, they ban the people. If the people pass, they die, they burn the body. And people were so scared of this group. But I said, no. It's there. It's just a procedure. Burning is not a big deal. I think they must have a book, and I want to know. And I went. These people are telling me, you know Arabic? I said, I don't need to know Arabic. Tell me in my language why you guys are burning a body. And there's a lot of big cemetery. Why don't you burn it like other people? People say, you need to learn Arabic. Then I say, but you are speaking my language. Why don't you tell me? Say, even myself, I don't know, but our share knows. So, okay, so it's only one person knows this thing, and you guys, you are just sitting there listening what he's saying, what he's telling you. You can't read the book. He say, yes. So I say, okay, it's good. This is a religion, but the problem is cross-cutting. Many people don't want to spend time. They don't want to question because they'll be in trouble. So that's not fair. If you want to be fair, put the information out there and guide the kids to learn. It's okay. That also exists. Okay, they are Buddhist. This is what they believe, and this is their book, or this is the information. They are Baha'is. They are Christians. Tell them why the Christians have so many groups, because of people have different understanding. Let the kids know that. So when they grow up, they say, okay, I know about Buddhists, I know about Hindus, I know about whatever. Now I think this is my nature. I'll be here. So you'll be doing very good. You are doing justice to the family, but it's not that simple as sound.
Now, what attracted you to the Baha'i faith?
That's one thing struck me when I read about the Baha'i faith. It's oneness of religion. That what you see out here it's like chapters in the book. Chapter 1, you have introductory, and chapter 2 give you some details. Chapter 3 has another information. It's like there's a difference of the manifestation of God. Each one came at a different time with a different message, but at the end of all of them, the bottom line, all of them are sent by the same God. So that was number one. Okay, so there's only one God then. The Hindus who are burning people, they're burning their dead, they're also from the same God. So why should we fight? Why should I fight with somebody with another religion if all of us, we belong to the same God? So I said that's a big thing for me. The second, by faith, is the independent investigation after the truth. That was my thing before even joining the Baha'i faith. I thought it's good to utilize my brain to reason out some of the things. So that was like taking me home. I said, okay, wow, this is a good religion. This is what I like myself. And then another thing is the equality of men and women. I realized there's a lot of the people
inequality.
Inequality is very common, especially in Africa. Women are treated in a very funny way. They think the women are the ones who need to work. The women need to feed their family. The husbands, most of the time, they hang around in the pub and go back and ask for food, even if they didn't leave any money. So, my mom was fine. She was fine. She had no trouble at all. But most of the people, her friends, I could tell that they were in trouble. Some are beaten, all this. But Baha'u'llah said, family is like one bird, two wings. One wing, if it's broken, this bird will not fly, will be eaten by predators any time, because every one wing is important. If both wings are important, if the bird has to go in the air, they need to live in harmony, to help each other. That's the whole thing about the marriage. Taking care of each other, raising the family, taking the kids to school, so that they can get a chance also to learn about God, and then you guys, the parents, get a blessing. If they get kids who will mention the name of God at some point in their lifetime, it's a blessing for the parents. So I said, okay, this is going to help most of the people. If these people, not today, like in maybe in the future, women and it's coming. I'm seeing some signs. There's a lot of movement of women. I think it's coming. I think the Baha'u'llah's word is seeping. People are getting it slowly, but I think it's more sustainable that way. It's not. I don't want it to happen in 24 hours. People have no idea what it is, but it's better people to learn slowly, and then once they understand, then they can do better job. But there is a move from different places. Even some people are doing this thing without even knowing, I think. People are talking about women, or women should do this, the education, they have to be this, all these rights, but no one knows the force. Very few people who know the force, where the force is coming, why at this time. Even the Muslims' world, where the women were supposed to be hiding or covering their faces, that the women are speaking out. They want their rights back. So, to me, I think this is a timely religion. It came at the right time when people should go for it. People who understand will go for it. Baha'u'llah said people, they have different paths to understand his religion. He said some people will just pick right away. Some people will take years to understand. Some people may spend their whole life and they come to realize by faith they have only 5 minutes to be on the planet, which is okay. Baha'u'llah said it's better to have no religion than have a religion which you don't understand. So we've been given that chance, but it's good to have a religion, but you better know it, what it is. You not just be a member of a Baha'i faith, or you be a member of a Christian. You have to know it, why that religion is there, and why you have to be in that religion, and what make your religion different from the other ones, and what bring all religions together. Those are the kind of things people needed to be thinking. That was a second, the third, and the fourth, which is now like in my life, is about Baha'u'llah. For the first time, I think he put it very clear on natural resource. It's nothing like going around strictly that you guys you depend on those creatures in the world. You guys, you depend on the nature in so many ways. Well, that's where you get. So the creation came. I mean, you have been created with those things. Without those things, without the nature, you guys, you won't do anything good. You'll be in trouble. So he spoke like ecologist. The connectedness of the universe. How he's talking the particle level, that every particle related to another particle, the attraction and all this. Why humans should take care of the nature. So I said, okay, he's talking about my job. So this is a religion for me. This is a good religion. This is a religion I'm going to take, because he knows he's touching my interest and he's speaking very logical. That, okay, at the end of the day, one country can spoil a natural resource, but the problem is going to be shared globally. Now we are talking of global warming. Everybody is asking what happened, who did this? Maybe it's the United States, or maybe it's Russia, or maybe it's England, because that thing is shared. We are sharing this little planet, the same biosphere. So if you do something wrong here, it's going to go here. So we got acid rain in my country, but the war was fought in the Gulf. But the acid rain came to Tanzania, and they said, okay, what's going on? We found the trees are getting dry, the leaves are drying up. But they said, oh, these things coming from, okay, so we should tell someone to stop doing something bad, because if we don't stop him, we'll share the bill. So Baha'u'llah put it very, very clear that people should be very, very careful to the environment, because if we want our kids to enjoy, we have to do something. So I'm taking this very seriously as a religion. I'm studying elephants this time. I'm an elephant specialist in my country, but I'm taking that as a religion. I just do as an ecologist and a scientist, but I take that very personal. That if I don't do good job, if I don't help the elephants, I'm not obeying my religion. And I have to make sure those elephants, Baha'u'llah said, do anything. You can be an engineer, you can work in outer space, doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it has to go down to be a service to mankind. So I am trying to twist my elephants to be a service to mankind, and I thank God it is working. I studied elephants for 4 years. Now, these elephants live in the villages, not in the park. They live outside the parks.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So what I did, I asked the people if they like the elephants. They say, we hate the elephants. They killed my dad and all this. I said, and what I was I'm handicapped. My leg is not there because of the elephants. Somebody told me I don't have a hand because of lions. Oh, I said, okay, this is a good place to do research, a lot of challenges. So I said, okay, I told the government I'm going to be a researcher in this community where there are so many problems.
And this is in North Tanzania?
Yes, very near to the border of Kenya and Tanzania. So I started trying to ask people what we can do with the elephants. They said, oh, no, those guys, if you can take them away, it will be good. I said, taking away elephants, 600 elephants, where are we going to take them? So you want to take this problem to another community. So we are trying to transfer the problem, your problem, to go to another community. That's what you want to tell me. Say, oh, no, we did not mean that. I say, okay. So we have to be here with these elephants, and we have to find a way how we can benefit these elephants. I told them it's about the land use. You guys, there's an overlap within land use. There's nothing else. If you don't overlap with these guys, you'll be fine. And these guys will be fine, you'll be fine. And you may end up benefiting from these animals. I spoke this 4 years ago. 5 years ago. After staying with the community for 2 years, I realized many tourists, after interviewing the tourists, I just go to the park because I've been working the parks. After leaving the parks, I can go to the park anytime. I have the ID. So I can talk to the tourists. Do you guys enjoy being in the park? They say, oh, too much restrictions. We can't get out of the truck and all this. What? I say, okay, what if you go in an area where it's not a park and there's no much restrictions? Are you going to be comfortable to see the animals? They say, oh, fantastic, that would be good. And in fact, we like walking. We don't want to be in the truck. We are tired. I say, okay. I said, okay, this is very important information. I went to the tour operators, the safari guys. I said, guys, if you pay $20 to go in the park, and if you can pay $10, half of the price, to go a non-park area and to see the animals, and another 10 pay to the local
people. To the local people.
Yeah, pay to the local people. Buy the articles. Let them dance for your tourists, and then you can give them a tip or something. They say that is going to be a good thing. And we were going to try in your area. They came to my area. I welcomed them. I told the villagers that, okay, we'll have a visitors. It's a tourist, but the company is a local company, so we have to help each other. We help this guy to get money, and also help us to get the money. Okay? They said, fine. This guy came, signed the book at the village office, paid $10 per head, and they were staying 3 nights, so $30 per head to the village, and then they paid a guide who would take them around.
A local guide,
and then they listened to my talk because I was doing research there. I know more where the elephants are. I can say, go that hill, that's where the elephants are. So give them a background why we are doing that, and they are coming to our area. How is it going to help the elephants and the local people? People say, this is what we want to say. This is what we want to be doing. And they say, well, by the way, you don't want to just pay $10. We want to know if there's any trouble, any problem in the community. We want to contribute money personally. Each one to contribute, if there's school, something, or water pipe or something. People started, putting money in. 1 year down the road, we had 3 big companies want to have a lodge in the area. And those guys managed to get a lodge. Now they have a lodge. They hire local people to work in those lodges. They buy local produce from the people.
Supplies.
They have a constant supply of cash. Every month they're paid like $5,000 in the village is a lot of money. That's in my country, it's like 10 million. So people now, they're not paying the tax, like contribution for school, the money come from the bank because they have elephants that bring the money in. Otherwise, even now, no one want to kill a lion because they think somebody who, the lion ate the hand, whatever, he was drunk. They told me all the secrets. So these people, usually they are drunk, they come back at night singing, they meet with the animals. But if they can go they can go back to their houses area like 6, no one will be in trouble with these animals. So the 3rd year we decided to map the area with where the elephants like to be and where the people could put their houses, where they won't be interfered by the wildlife, and where we put the water for wildlife, where we put the water for people. No more incidents for killing anyone. So people are so comfortable with animals. So the animals live there, and also people live there. But ecological, they are separated. The people, they know where they're supposed to be. The animals can sneak to the village, but not quite often, because animals, if they are not disturbed, they learn very fast. Elephants, they learn very fast to keep a distance from the people. So now that research became a service to mankind because people are benefiting from it. The kids, they get into my truck. I train them that these elephants are your asset. It's another cattle in the world, so take care of this cattle, which you don't need to feed. It's feeding itself, and you're getting money. You have now a school. You have a solar panel in your school because of these animals. You have to take care of it. So it's now, even if I'm not there, people are enjoying. They're getting money, and that's what biologists want. Not just studying for fun. We study for a reason. So I think the beast now is no longer beast. Beast now became a resource. Yeah. So that's one of the things I thought I needed to do, at least to justify that, okay, I'm trying to be a good Baha'i at some point. So do right thing, help mankind. That's my privilege, I think. Otherwise, I'll end up getting a salary for myself. That is not, for this day, Baha'u'llah don't want that end up being a personal. You want any knowledge, anything you learn, let it be art. You're a musician. At the end of the day, it need to help mankind. If you're a musician, people are happy and then people relax with your music. It's a good thing. It's not necessary to be a cash, but it can be psychological. And also the animals are helping a lot of people. People come there with a lot of tension, stress in the United States. They come there, they see these animals, they relax, they're happy. They go back home fresh. I think that's the service too. So I'm very proud of what I do. That's why I came here, to do more, get more voice for elephants and my people.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you moving this idea to other places in Tanzania?
Actually, yes. And the ministry already realized that is going to be a model. And that's one of the reasons the U.S. Fish and Wildlife is supporting the project, because I think for the first time, doing research like that outside the protected areas with a lot of commitment by a local person is not normal. They think it's not, usually these things, many people think the wildlife, people who are interested must be foreigners. But for a local person to do that kind of thing and people start getting benefit right away, we think this is going to save a lot of money to the government, because they spend a lot of money chasing the poachers around. But the local people, if they value the elephants and the other wildlife, no poacher will go in there because they're on. They know whoever comes here is going to take our research. If they kill one elephant, while other people take a photo to one elephant and pay maybe 1,000 to one animal, can give us 1,000 or 2,000 in a year, and this guy is going to shoot once and take ivory, it's not fair. So instead of the government from the capital sending people to do a patrol and go back, the local people themselves, they do the patrol in their area. So every village where the animals, the people who live there, those are the people who are responsible. They can get only backup if there's like a lot of poachers come there. They can call, that are the ones to call the government. So guys, we need help. But most the local poaching is controlled by the local people themselves. That is saving a lot of money to the government. So the government, they think that's an opportunity, and we need to replicate that to go to other communities where they can, with a similar environment. But he needed to do more work on monitoring more elephants. Now we are using high tech. We have collared, tagged the elephants to know where other places where we realize they're sharing other villages. So now the benefit sharing, elephants will tell us which village needed to get a share after showing us which area the elephant use. So now I have about 15 villages where the elephant go around. So that distribution, elephant distribution, will also help us to distribute the benefit, which is accrued from the wildlife. Yeah, so that's right. It's going to be a model, and it's going to be taken other places too.
For 2 years, you were game warden. 2 years, you traveled about to investigate how other folks are doing park management, etc. Then, where did this fall in? Where you were providing this model of doing wildlife management outside of the parks in conjunction with the local villages. Did that occur after that 4-year period?
Well, the point came, that idea came when I was still working in the national parks, but I was not able to express my interest because of the environment. People didn't like people who are like so innovative, want other things outside their career, because that was outside my career. They thought, national park people thought anything outside, it doesn't belong to them, belongs to the wildlife department, because the wildlife department is different and the national park is different. But I was asking myself, where the poachers come from outside the park? why should I work with the communities? Because the community can affect them in the park. And most of the problems in the park, actually, there are fewer problems than outside the park. But I ask myself where the animals are distributed. The animals are distributed all over the place, in the park and outside the park. And I had my assumption that therefore, if animals are distributed outside and inside the park, then the more urgent conservation activity to be done, it must be outside, not in the area which is already protected. Everybody knows that there's a protection. Those animals, no one will come to poach in the park while he knows that the giraffe is out there. They will go for the animal which is not protected by anybody. So the issues are there. So even I went back, even to my training was wrong, because I was trained to manage the park. So anything outside here, I had no idea what to do. That's why I decided to go to study, to do my master's in England. And that master's, my thesis was about what they call protected landscape management.
Landscape management?
Yeah. Landscape management is not landscape including the town and the park. Anywhere is a landscape management. Wherever biodiversity occur, I was trained to manage. So now I don't see a boundary from the park. I see as a one continuum, but with a different level of use of the land or the way to. So when I finished my master's, when I was asked to go to do my field work, I said, I'm not going to any park. I'm going to start my own area, which is out of the park, but there are some interaction with humans, interacting with the wildlife, and there are a lot of poaching going on, and the speech which is more like elephant, for example, is a speech which many people talk about it, and I knew if I use elephant, many people will listen, because it's a big, huge animal, and it's a very political animal. So I said, if I have to do research on elephant, I can help other small guys in there. So I said, I'll pick elephant. Not because I have a particular interest now to elephant, but when I picked, I had the reason was because it's an umbrella species. By having elephant protected and its habitat, there are so many other animals who will enjoy the same habitat. That was the reason but eventually it became part of my life. Now elephant is me, and so it's just like those elephants after learning more stuff about it. So after the masters had a big impact to me, changing my whole history of thinking about the conservation. It just went the other way around. I said, okay, so conservation is we're not doing the right thing.
So that was the first field work for your master's.
Yes.
This was your first time that you came up with this model.
Yes, exactly.
With the village living with the wildlife.
Yeah, and all my recommendations were about the first recommendation to open up the corridors, and we already done. Also, the community to share the benefit, the community to benefit from the wildlife. It was in my recommendation, and already is working. And also to move some of the communities to put in the more safer place instead of staying right to the path of the wildlife where the interaction is too high. People accept it because they knew it's a good thing. So the whole thing is about land. We needed to train people. My job was to train people to learn to share a little thing they have. Okay, people, number one, I agree. Politically, yes, and that humans are on the top. But we have a role also to help other creatures which are below us. So I said, okay, guys, you can do better job than this. These animals is money. That people travel here. From US come here, from Europe come here, and they pay a lot of money to see these things. And you guys are seeing this every day. It's not a privilege for you. You see these things like this is very important. You have to prove to the conservation world that you guys take care of this. If you take care of the animals, people will take care of you too. And now my words have been proved by the way tours go to the areas. The tour operators are cooperating with the local people. That's giving scholarship out, something which was not normal. And so people, when they see a footprint or a spoor of an animal, they spend minutes saying, which one is it? Which antelope is this? Is this impala or something? So people, why they used to see these things as, those are just wild animals. Now they think those animals are more valuable than before. That's what I wanted. And the whole thing is about training. What we train people, if they really understand what they got from the ecology, that's another thing. But we train wrong. We give people wrong stuff, so people don't know. They finish it, say, yes, I want to be a manager, manage wildlife, but they don't see the alternatives. What else you do apart? If you are not a warden, if you are not a game warden, what other thing you can do? But now, from a game warden to a scientist, researcher, it is a little bit fun in my country. Say, how do you change? I say, I did not change. I'm still working with wildlife. Mm-hmm. This is an extension of the same. Yeah. So, master degree with my field work, that's what mattered. Mm-hmm. And I think I gain a lot here too. So I think I'll do better job taking this model outside with my graduate degree here. It will make it much sense. Mm-hmm. I think.
So you're getting a doctorate here?
Yes.
Okay, and what's your doctorate in?
It's what we call it's a Elephant Ecology and Conservation. Mm-hmm. But the whole thing is about natural resource and conservation. Mm-hmm. But I focus on that because at that level you need to focus on one thing. Mm-hmm. You need to narrow, because I have studied wildlife in general for all this years, my undergrad and my second degree. But now I needed to. Elephant is the number one. That's the guy I'm focusing on it, and I'm really very, very convinced that picking an animal has to be very logical. We are not interested in saving one animal, but we want an animal which can be a tool, which can be a help to many other species, and it happened to be an elephant is a one, because there's only animal with a very big home range. The area elephant like is if we have plenty of areas, you need like 3,000 square kilometers. The elephant can just move around, use the whole area like that. So if you be lucky and get area at least half of that, you have a big park and you have a lot of other animals enjoying and staying together with the elephants. So that's why I'm trying to. And also, elephants is in trouble by now. Elephants are in trouble because of the ivory stuff.
Because of what?
Ivory. People are
so the poachers. Oh, you're hoping this model will counteract this whole poaching thing with for the ivory? Yeah,
because I believe no one can do, like if you are here, this is your headquarters, and then poaching is happening in Boston. To drive the truck from here to Boston take 2 hours, and the poacher is not waiting you. So I believe the effective anti-poaching should be done by people who live in that community. Those are the people who even know who is a stranger, who is not a guy who belongs to this village. Why is he here at this time? So the people knows, and the young people, like Morans, like a Masa in the area where I work, they look like they don't know anything. They stand with one leg, and all the time they're brushing their teeth. Even in the evening, themselves they use their local brush, but they're listening. Flies are full in the eye. You don't even see the eye. Flies are here, but they're listening. If they disappear, they have very good information, and I have getting information from these people, and we are successful because we are using the people to be my eyes. Now I'm not there, but I communicate. I spoke to one of them today. I called. He said, "What's going on? The elephant safe?" He said, "No elephant got any trouble. Now there's a lot of food for elephants. No problem." So every week I have to call. These people are doing no gun. It's just a stick. But once they tell me, I can call somebody in Tanzania to go and help. If there's somebody with a gun, I can send a message here. Call, guys. There's a trouble set in the village. Go there, because I monitor elephants using the satellite. I see the elephants. I see all the.
You can track them here in Amherst.
Yeah, I have all the data. I download data every day. I can even tell if they don't see some elephants. I sometimes ask them, "Where is this number 5?" They say, "Oh, we have been driving around, we don't see him." I say, "Okay, go to certain hill. That guy is there. I saw him 15 minutes ago, he was there." So that speed of elephant is not that high. So he must be around there. So they go up the hill, they see the animal. So it's a real, very interesting, and also we are really committed to make sure we help these species, because ivory trade is coming back. Asia, they still buy these things. I don't. If we are not serious, and if the government spend a lot of money taking care of the small park where the animals move out and come back, people will just, when these animals go out, they kill them. Then 200 go out, only 100 come back. Mm-hmm. So we have to make sure conservation although in different degrees, has to be done all over the country.
So is this happening fast enough to offset the poaching?
It is. I can't say much because I started the thing like 2 years ago, and wardens already gaining the momentum. They already know that that's the way. But at the beginning, anything if it's new need a lot of.
Right.
Yeah, so that's why I'm very glad that I'm going back in 2 days. So I'll go and keep add the momentum, and also go and bring people over as a study area. They come like a study tour and take them around and show them what I do there.
These are students here from UMass or what?
No, I want the wardens.
Oh, wardens.
The
okay.
wardens who are working in other parks
okay.
So to come and see.
You'll show them around.
Yeah, what we're doing, and I want them to talk to the people. And then the second thing will be bring the local people from other areas and bring them there and let the local people talk to other local people, not me presenting.
Right.
I want them to interact like 1 or 2 days and they learn from each other. Then they go back and then we can have a workshop when they know what exactly what exactly is needed.
Now, is Kenya using this model?
Sorry?
Is Kenya using this model?
Kenya is a little bit complicated because my country, the land use, the owner of the land ownership is very complicated in Kenya. Tanzania, the owner of the land is the government.
Oh, really?
The government owns the land. All the land belongs to the government.
Okay.
You may get a land, even a title deed, but if you mess up with the land, if you misuse it, government is willing, you can take it back. So that's why we have advantage. We can still do more stuff in my country because if there's something has a national interest, the government is ready to compensate a person who was there and protect that land. For maybe there's an endangered species there in the certain forest, and that land belongs to somebody. They say, okay, sorry, here we have endemic species, and this species belongs to the world, not Tanzania alone. So please, we give you a land somewhere else, and also we can pay you some money to start a new life there, or we can help you to build a house or something. So that's the advantage we have.
I see.
That's why we open the corridors. The government is still there, and even sometimes we don't want to use the government because if you use the government, the people don't like it. So we usually communicate with the people, talk to the people, let them understand and say, oh, fine, we'll give you that land for conservation because you told us what it means. Because if government uses power, it may make fire in the wrong land. People say, oh, these guys are taking it because they are powerful, they have a police. But for me as an expert, if I talk to them and if they accept, it's cheaper. You don't need a compensation if you can tell people slowly in their local language and then they understand. Then you ask them to suggest what to do. They say, oh, no, we better move to another. Well, let's go the other side. And then you don't need to pay anybody a single dollar if they are willing and if they are happy where they are going. That's what we need to. So I think Kenya, the land, most of the land belongs to the group of people. So even the National Park Service in Kenya don't have that power outside. So you can't do much because if land belongs to somebody else, you'll spend years to negotiate with that. And they have very powerful the Act, which protect the land ownership in Kenya. Individuals are very powerful. So for the parastate organization to go and start bargaining, that's become very political.
I see.
That's why in Tanzania things, it's very easy to deal with. If you fail, if you know you're going to fail and you know it's very important to have that land protected, now you say, okay, guys, I spent 2 months or 4 months or 1 year helping you to understand about this now. We leave this to the government to do what they want to do. But I know government can be very rough. It's better we decide our own things than allowing the government to come in. So if they don't, then you say, okay, I'm done. You allow the government to do what they want to do. But most of the time, the governments are very keen. They don't want to mess up with the people because those are the people who do the election. They put the president in the power. So people are that's why talking is more practical now than using force.
Right, right.
And Tanzania is very good on that. It happened to have good people who can talk to people. And if people not happy that day, they're ready to postpone the workshop and come another time. So people are very patient to take it slowly. And yeah.
So you're going to be in Tanzania for 2 years and then you're coming back?
Yes, I'll be in Tanzania for 2 years to do my field work. Yeah, there's a lot of things to be done, part of my dissertation. Yeah, elephants have been called, I defined. I need to call them more, like another 11. And I needed to do area survey. So there's a lot of work. Yeah.
Okay, well, Alfred, thank you very much, and best of luck to you in your endeavors to have humanity and the animal kingdom living together side by side.
Thank you, and thank you for you also for coming in, because I think sharing this kind of information is good for me. Okay. It's a learning process.
Very good. I hope you enjoyed that interview with Alfred Kikoti, a Baha'i from Tanzania devoting his life to saving the wild animals and finding solutions to man and animal living together harmoniously. If you want information on the Baha'i faith specifically, you're welcome to visit the website www.baha'i.org. That's BAHAI.org, or you can call the toll-free number 1-800-22-UNITE.